All right, folks, so we've got a pair of similar triangles here, and it's not marked, so I will mark it here that these two lines are parallel. And that's what allows us to know some things about the angles in this triangle. So I know that these two opposite angles have to be equal by nature of the two intersecting lines. I also know from last year's grade 9 class that this angle here and this angle down here are equal by nature of the transversal line intersecting the two parallel lines. And then I'll use 3 lines for this last angle. There we go. So now I can match up some corresponding sides using those angle markers to figure out which sides correspond. So between the angle marked with 1 line and the angle marked with 3 lines, I've got a blue side here that corresponds with this blue side here. So measuring 5 and 8. I know between the angle with 1 line and 2 lines, I've got a green side that corresponds with this missing length over here. And then I'll pick red for my final. This side down this way and this side across the top are also corresponding. That's going to help me match my corresponding sides together. So now my job is to figure out, well, how many times bigger is the bigger triangle compared to the small triangle? So I'm going to pick a pair of corresponding sides for which I know the side lengths. So my two red sides, so 8 and 12.8. I'm curious to know, well, how many times bigger is that triangle? So I've got a side that measures 12.8 and a side that measures 8. And so if I divide 12.8 divided by 8, I will get 1.6. So my bigger triangle is 1.6 times larger than my smaller triangle. So that's my scale factor. And I'll write that here for us. That's my scale factor. I can use that scale factor now to calculate any missing side I would like. So let's look at the corresponding green side. I'm going to draw a little arrow that shows, right, that my X side is also 1.6 times bigger than its corresponding side, which measured 6. So 6 times 1.6 is equal to X. And so if I calculate 6 times 1.6, I get 9.6. So the missing side X is equal to 9.6. Now, here's something else I can do. I can set up a ratio, and I'm just going to confirm my answer to X by setting up a ratio for those missing sides. So if we start with our larger triangle, so I'm looking to find X. So I'm going to stay with that green color. I am looking to find the side with the X on it, and its corresponding side in that smaller triangle was 6. And that ratio of those two corresponding sides is equal to any other pair of sides that I know. So let's go back and use our 12.8 on the bigger triangle and our 8 side. So the two red sides that are corresponding. And so now I can use that equation, that ratio, to solve for X. So I know that if I'm trying to isolate X, I need to do the opposite of dividing by 6. So I'm going to multiply both sides of this equation by 6. 6 divided by 6 leaves me with 1x. So I will have x equals, and now I have 12.8 times 6 divided by 8, and I come out with an answer of 9.6. And I just want to show us that that will also work if I use the other set of corresponding sides. So x divided by 6 is the same as, what are my other corresponding sides? My blue sides. So the x triangle has a side of 8, and the corresponding blue side on the smaller triangle is 5. And again, multiply by 6 on both sides. 6 divided by 6 leaves me with 1x. 8 times 6 8 times 6 is 48. Divided by 5 is 9.6. We shouldn't get a different answer. We should always get the same answer. So I can use my scale factor. I can also set up ratios like I did over here. Two different methods that get me to the same answer for a missing side in a set of similar triangles. All right, friends, go practice on Khan Academy, please.